Hi, my name is Macy Stoneback, and I'm a paralegal with AlphaTakes Counsel Law Firm. This video is geared for founders of emerging technology companies. The topic is the capitalization table. What is it? Why is it important? What should be in it? First, what is it? A capitalization table, or cap table, is a snapshot at a point in time of the outstanding equity of a company. When someone wants to project what a future cap table would look like following one or more transactions, they will be preparing a pro forma cap table. It's important to understand that a cap table is a snapshot of ownership as of a certain date, and a pro forma cap table is a projected cap table assuming the completion of contemplated transactions. Why are cap tables important? Lots of reasons. Shareholders want to keep track of how much of the company they own. Prospective investors want to know how much of the company they will own if they invest. Founders and investors want to know how much of the company they will be giving away if the company issues more shares or adds shares to the incentive pool. Officers want to determine if their workforce and advisors are adequately incented. Founders and investors may want to model how they will fare at an exit event, such as the sale of the company. What should be in a cap table? Let's take a look at a typical cap table for an emerging technology company. There are columns for the holder of securities and each of the various types of securities, such as common stock, each series of preferred stock, options, and warrants, if any. There is a column totaling ownership on a fully diluted basis for each holder. On the far right is a column to calculate each holder's percentage ownership on a fully diluted basis. Notice how the formula includes $ absolute indicators in the denominator to point to the total fully diluted shares. The holder column typically lists each person or entity that holds securities of the company. The name of the holder should be as close as reasonably possible to the name on the stock certificate, stock ownership statement, option agreement, or warrant, rather than putting an abbreviated name or the key contact's name. There might also be instances where a summary cap table is appropriate for the sake of simplicity. Rather than showing each holder's name, a summary cap table would show categories of holders, such as founders, other employees, and investors. The numbers in the cells for each type of security should be whole numbers, not formulas. The reason is, formulas may yield fractional shares, which can yield incorrect totals. Across the bottom is a totals row to add up all shares for each security type. While it seems obvious, it's important to make sure the total cells are picking up every cell that they are supposed to pick up. Sometimes you see footnotes to cap tables. In this example, the founders hold restricted stock subject to time-based vesting, so there's a footnote stating that some of the shares are subject to a substantial risk of forfeiture. With emerging technology companies, we occasionally see a footnote stating that there are convertible notes outstanding that are not included in the cap table. The cap table is typically updated every time shares, options, warrants, and other securities are issued. It is a good idea to include the effective date at the top of the cap table. We often suggest saving the current cap table separately from any pro formas so that it is clear exactly which one is the current cap table. The cap table is a living, breathing document that shows the outstanding equity of the company as of a given date, broken down by shareholder and equity type. It's important to keep it updated and accurate. Officers of our emerging company clients refer to cap tables often when considering granting equity to employees, consultants, directors, advisors, investors, and lenders. From the current cap table, you can build pro formas to see how share ownership will be affected by actions like adding shares to the stock incentive pool, raising a round of financing, or selling the company. It all starts with a well-constructed and maintained cap table. Thanks for watching this episode of AlphaTakes.